this will be the daily routine of an opera singer. So you'll go to rehearsal?
Yes. Total time, rehearsal time in Hong Kong will be 2.5 weeks.
Wow, that's not very
Not
long
long
to
at all.
prepare a big production.
You have to know your music very well before the rehearsal.
So what I want you to ask you is, how do you suggest young generation to appreciate art forms
Very
such
good
as
question.
opera?
Excellent question. Okay, first of all, I'm sitting here in Hong Kong Culture Center, Grand Theater backstage. You could hear some noise behind. That's in rehearsal. The Romeo and Juliet by French composer Gounod. Opera is a word from Latin. Opera means a piece of work, means work. Okay, first of all, we have the stage sets, costumes, lighting, stage movements, acting, singing, everything you can think of an art, it's in the opera. Opera itself is a piece of work. The voice is called bel canto. Bel canto is an Italian word. Bel canto means beautiful singing. In Chinese, we call 美声. Canton is 美声, okay? With the bel canto singing, with the scientific production of the voice, with the mask production, how to use head voice, etc., with the breathing technique, and the voice can project very far and very loud. For example, in the Grand Theater in Hong Kong, can seat about 1,700 people. We're singing with our mic, and it could be heard every corner of the theater. That's the beauty of bel canto. That's a beauty for young generation to appreciate this kind of art form.
Voilà, comme ça, t'as l'œil à l'action. Et là, tu fais ce que tu veux. Ce qui est important, c'est que tu veux.
Just then, I was hearing the rehearsal. I've got goosebumps hearing.
Good,
the
you got
opera
goosebumps.
sing.
Wonderful,
yes, that was
young kid.
amazing. Yeah, and even though it is sang in a language that I'm not familiar with, I can feel the emotions.
That's the beauty of opera. You
Yes.
don't need to understand language. Although when you go in the theater, there's bilingual subtitles. But Romeo and Juliet, you know the story.
I know the story.
It's a love story. It's a
Yeah.
fairy tale, It's a love tragedy.
Yeah, I love tragedy.
Happens every day.
Yeah. And a lot of operas are in different languages, in Italian and French. I'm sure as a very experienced opera singer like you learn a lot of languages.
Yes, have
So do you think different languages influence the artistic expression? Is a particular language more expressive, or how do you think maybe Chinese plays a part in the language of opera?
Wow, I'm impressed with your questions. You really study how to ask me questions. Bravo. Brava, okay, in Italian. Okay, very good questions, because opera is written in different languages, okay, mainly Italian, French, and German. But once in different languages, you feel it differently. Some people say that, okay, why don't you sing La Traviata or Carmen in Chinese? I'm totally against that. You know why? Because the composer and the lyrics, they compose the music according to the lyrics, according to the language. For example, La cena è pronta, beautiful, no? You know what it means? It means dinner is ready. If I sing in Chinese, 晚饭准备好了, sounds stupid. Same thing if like 戴雷花 in Cantonese, to be translated into English, that sounds stupid too.
It's very different. Yeah.
It sounds stupid. Not only different, it sounds stupid. Doesn't work. It's that simple. You know what? For bel canto singing, the best language to sing will be Italian. Because it's strong and all words ending in vowel. Celestaida, nessun dorma, all ending in vowels. In German, mostly Winterstume, many, the end with consonants. It's really hard. Ich liebe dich. That's hard. Even French, je t'aime. Actually, I would say, if you sing Mandarin very well in bel canto singing, that's not easy either. For example, 我爱你中国. 我爱你中国, that sounds not really right. If I put my vowel or consonants more forward, 我爱你中国, then it's more clear. So it really depends which language you sing in and how to place your voice at a different position.
Did your experience living abroad kind of change when going back to Hong Kong? And do you think that in being in the Western countries as a Chinese, does that make you emphasize, your identity as being a Chinese?
Very, very interesting question. Because I moved to the States when I was a teenager. So my education, all music education was done in USA. Then I started my career in Germany. So when I went to Germany, I would say I'm a Chinese American. Came from New York. I was born in Beijing. Then moved back to Hong Kong. Then went to the States. So I lived, in Beijing, mainland China, Hong Kong, States, Europe. So I lived around the world. I experienced all the different systems, so to speak. When I was in Germany, they asked, "Oh, where you came from, your background?" Then say, "Oh, then you're Chinese." They pointed out, I'm Chinese, not American. Funny enough. Then I realized, wow, yeah, you're right. I learned my things in America, but my roots is Chinese.
Yeah.
Then I started to look for Chinese culture and etc. and then moved back to Hong Kong. So when I go around the world, I would say I'm from Hong Kong, SAR. The leading roles sung by French singers, supporting roles, orchestra, chorus, stage management team, all from Hong Kong. See, that's from Hong Kong.
Wow. So circling back to when you come back to Hong Kong, what do you think has been the development, in the early 1990s till now?
Another good question. Okay. When I first came back, it was still under British rule. So in those days, many, I would say the audience, mainly Caucasians, Brits or expats. Now, after 20 years SAR, reverse. Majority of the audience are Chinese now. And young generation. The average age of the audience, much younger than Europe. So I would say this art form in Hong Kong, that's the future. I just want people, young generation, come to enjoy it. You don't have to be a professional singer or opera fan so to speak. Like a museum. You don't have to be like a collector to go to a museum. I mean, this theater is not bad, okay? Just the stage technique, the equipment lacks modernization. Grand Theater is over almost like 40 years. We don't have track system or flying system in the theater. So we cannot produce high art production. So the Hong Kong government, I always urged them to build a state-of-the-art opera house. Since I'm the CPPCC member since last year, my proposal is how to promote Hong Kong as East and West culture hub. How to to be a melting pot with our opera house, a proper opera house. So this interview, I hope the Hong Kong government officials, especially in charge of culture, leaders, they can really read my lips. Hong Kong needs a proper opera house to present operas in Hong Kong, to representing Hong Kong as a culture hub.
Yeah, I do really.
Enough said.
Yeah, I do.
Don't
really,
cut a word of that.
Yes.
China
definitely.
Daily, do not cut my word, as I said.
So.
Final question.
Yeah.
I think we have more than half hour. You have enough. I think you have more than enough materials to cut. I'm the best interviewee on earth.
Definitely. So for my final question,
Yes.
I think, what do you think is the best kind of music education for youth in Hong Kong?
Haha, boy, you're well prepared. Always ask the best question. I like China Daily. You're still a student. You have a great future. Okay, what's the best music education? I think as a student in Hong Kong, like primary school, you should be educated with all kind of music. Western music, Chinese music, simultaneously. Let the students to explore different type of music. Let them choose by themselves how they enjoy it. Thank you for your interview.
Yeah, thank you very much. From interviewing with Mr. Mok, I can get to know his passion and his lifelong journey in opera.
Today, I had a very, very good interview with a junior reporter. She is well prepared, asked very, very impressive questions and get to the point. No wasting time. I like this kind of style.
By listening to the rehearsal that is right now, I can feel the goosebumps because I can feel the emotions by the soprano who is singing. I think the young generation would really fall in love with the music and the drama.
For the Hong Kong younger generation, no matter what you're studying, what field that you are in, you should work hard and never give up. Remember Hong Kong's 西极山下, the Lion's Rock spirit. Keep that. Make Hong Kong a better city for you and for your future.